last week about those people that are feeling kind of like the dog, and how they are dealing with the things that they're going through in their life, and how they process it, and what it feels like to be in that place where you're just kind of forgotten. A couple of years ago, I ran into a friend of mine who, we started chatting. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I was talking with him about some of our old friends and acquaintances, and I brought up this one individual that I hadn't heard about or seen in quite some time, because they had moved away. And so I asked this person, what had happened to him, and his responses kind of caught me off guard, because I thought he was pretty close with this guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, he just I don't know what happened to him. He kind of fell away and he got messed up. And last I heard is he was struggling with, I don't know, a little bit of drinking, and not going to church anymore, and just kind of copped an attitude and was a little bit upset." And I asked him if he knew what caused it, and if he tried to call him or talk to him. And he says, "Well, I tried to talk to him one time, but he just didn't really want to talk." And so I just kind of blew it off. I just kind of thought, well, he's doing his own thing, and actually I haven't really tried to talk to him since. And that made me really kind of start thinking. It actually saddened me quite a bit, that here was this friend of this guy that had quote unquote fallen away or backslidden, and there didn't seem to be any real concern for where he was at. And I thought about this for some time, and one day I was reading in the Gospel of John, and like John 6, and you get into John 10, and that's where Jesus is talking a lot about being a shepherd, and how Jesus was very specific about he doesn't lose. I think it's in John 6. He doesn't lose any of his sheep. He every one of them that the Father entrusted to him, he will make sure that sheep is okay. In the journey of us little sheep, there's a real interesting reason why we're called sheep. Sheep tend to wander; they get sidetracked. Very few get on the trail and just keep on going. Never stumble, never. Maybe not in a big way, but we all stumble in some way, and we need a shepherd to keep us on the path. And when I thought about this for the context of this individual that I was talking about, it really bothered me that this person's attitude, often, which is reflected even in, sad to say, many ministries or churches, is that oh well, he's gone, and we're praying for him, but really no effort was really made to reach out to this individual. And with the words of Jesus, speaking of the care of a shepherd, and just how he spends so much of his, I don't know if energy is the right word, but he has so much concern for these sheep of his, every one of them, the ones that are in every level of their journey and their walk. He takes care of them, and he commits to finding every one of them. I kind of track that back to Ezekiel 34, where you read about the true heart of a shepherd, and I'm going to speak on that in another talk, because it's such a powerful chapter to read, as far as just seeing the heart of God toward people that are wandering and kind of getting lost, along their journey at different phases. I think judging that people are lost and backslidden is a very tenuous thing to do at best. How careful we have to be with making those judgments. I was, not to sound all spiritual and everything, but I was kind of praying and thinking about this a lot, just in reaching these individuals who have not really fallen away from the Lord, but just fallen away from the religious world. One of the things that Jesus said was one of the reasons why they do run, the sheep, is because the voices around them don't match his. And he says, "My sheep, they know my voice." So a lot of times there's all these voices, churches and ministries and radios and TVs and friends and enemies, and they come from every direction, speaking on behalf of God, and the individual finds just confusion. It almost becomes schizophrenic, trying to hear all this direction from God, and you realize that it's not meeting the need in your soul. And Jesus said that the net result of that is that the sheep run. The statistic, I don't know how accurate it is, was in the news of recent. This is that there is many people that believe in Jesus no longer attending church as those that do. Now, attending church isn't the mark of walking with your shepherd. Regardless of how accurate the statistic is, that is a very troubling statistic to me. That there are all these people that are just lost, confused. I've made it a practice the last couple of years to talk to as many people as I can that no longer find church life or body life or community of a value to them.